Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Are you on my Spotify now as well?
Yep, that should be sorted.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So I guess without further ado, let's dive in. So thank you very much for the intro, Ali. Today we'll be going through an exercise to develop your future sketch. And so there's a couple of components to this. We're going to start with a dream bucket exercise, then go through a bit of a wheel of life, and then develop your 3-year sketch, which is the groundwork for creating a magnetic vision board. So hopefully by the end of this session, you'll have a bit of an idea of, okay, how do I create a 3-year sketch? You will have made a really solid start on it, and you will have either made a good start on creating your very own vision board. For this session, you will need the following things. So you'll need to open a Google Slides tab. This is where we will be making the vision boards. So you can type in slides.new, and you will need an open Pinterest tab. I love Pinterest for gathering things for vision boards. So that's pinterest.com/ideas. And like Ali said, somewhere to take notes, whether that's in Notion or in a physical journal. I love physical journals. You'll also need something to write everything down. Optionally, I have also created a completely free Wheel of Life tracker template, which you can get from izzysealy.com/wheel. And as Ali mentioned as well, hang on, my slide is not moving, there we go. This is going to be a very much interactive session. So if you're not already on, this will be a different Menti to Ali's one. So scan this code or go to menti.com and enter the code, because we will be getting you involved in all sorts of questions along the way. Fantastic. So, firstly, just wanted to get an idea of how familiar you guys are with my content. This Spark Summit, I feel like most of you have come via Ali's stuff, but just wanted to get an idea of how new I am to you guys. Gosh, okay, I'm very new and brand new. This is first impression, so no pressure, but pressure. Wonderful. A couple of loyal subscribers in there as well, so thanks. Awesome, let's move on. So the structure for today is, we'll firstly talk about your dream bucket and divergent dreaming around all of the things that you might want to achieve in the next 10 years. Next, we'll move on to an exercise called the Wheel of Life, which I find very useful as a way to ground me in a holistic assessment of how my life is going. And this helps to track the past and understand the present, and then also shape the future. We'll move into a 3-year sketch, which will be springboarded from a visualization exercise that I personally love. And then we will dive deep into the vision boarding. So to begin, let's start with doing a little bit of an arriving into the session, because before doing a future vision session like this, it's really important to be in the right state. So I'd just like to invite you to sit comfortably upright in your chair or wherever you are, with your hands resting in your lap and your feet firmly on the floor. And you might want to close your eyes for this as well, to really come into the present moment. Make sure you're not crossing your legs or your arms, and soften your face. Close your eyes, and then turn your attention inward. Bring your attention into your body now. Feel whether your body is relaxed or if it's tense. Notice the weight of your body and the pressure where you are in contact with the floor or your chair, your environment. Maybe feel the temperature of the air in your skin. Soften through your neck, shoulders. Often we hold a lot of tension there, especially being at a computer for a lot of the day, potentially. If you're anything like me. Relax through your belly. Let it really go soft. Your thighs, your jaw. Relax the tongue in your mouth. See if you can even relax your eyes. Just let your eyes go soft in their sockets. And now let's take a few deep, uplifting breaths. breathing in and out through the nose and deeply into our belly. So inhale deeply for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold softly for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale slowly for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again deeply for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale gently for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Return to your natural breath now. And I invite you to place your left hand over your heart and your right hand on your belly. Maybe notice where you can feel your breath moving into your body and moving your body. The chest rising, belly softening. Notice if you can feel the heart beating. And recognize that you don't even have to try, and yet your body breathes this fresh, oxygen-rich air into your lungs. And your heart is beating steadily in your chest. And recognize that these were not things that you had to earn or do anything to deserve. They were miracles gifted to you for this lifetime, from the day that you were born. And in that same way, recognizing that when we align ourselves with the future direction we want to go into, there are so many gifts that are in this lifetime and that are coming to you, that have already been given to you, and more that are coming. And just feel this sense of gratitude for everything that has already arrived, everything right here in the present moment, and everything that's to come. And so now, whenever you're ready, blink open your eyes again and come back to the present day. And we'd just like to check in on how you guys are all feeling after this short meditation. That's a good answer. So we've got people feeling calm and relaxed are coming up, grateful, ready, grounded. That's a good one. Feeling grounded before this kind of thing is really important. Emotional. And so now, while we're in this state of feeling this peace, relaxation, groundedness, gratitude, it's time to fill your 10-year dream bucket. This is essentially anything and everything that you might possibly dream of achieving, dream of doing in the next 10 years. And the first bullet point I put here is to dream divergently. And what I mean by this is, don't limit yourself to just the things that you think are possible or the things that are part of your current life path. Think of anything, your wildest dreams, and write them all down. So get out your pen and paper or your Notion tab and start writing these down. These could be things like skills that you want to learn, experiences that you might want to have, travel that you want to do, or even relationships to build, or ways to feel every day. And so write down everything, absolutely everything that you think of, because right here, we're not trying to limit things to being realistic. This is not a promise to ourselves that we're going to achieve this. This is simply us dreaming divergently about everything, so we have a big list that can inspire us. One thing that I also notice is when I'm doing this exercise, sometimes I'll notice some resistance to putting something on my dream bucket, especially achievements. And often, actually, because this isn't a promise that I'm going to achieve that, there's no real reason why I should feel limited from putting it on there. In some ways, it's actually highlighting a limiting belief that I have that, oh, there's no way I could put that on my dream bucket. That's completely unrealistic. But I'm inviting you right now. I'm giving you the permission to not limit yourself, go wild. And so I'll give you a couple of minutes to start filling that in. So could we cue the music? How do we cue some music? Awesome. Okay, so just maybe 2 more minutes on this, and a couple of examples as well, just to prompt you in case you're feeling a little stuck. This could be things like, for example, starting your own business, or going on a yoga teacher training, or maybe traveling to a country that you've always dreamed of going to. Perhaps it could be family dreams as well, where you really want to one day start your own family, or maybe you want to learn a new skill, like learn a language. So for me, for example, I've been on a journey learning Mandarin, so that would be on my dream bucket, to be fully fluent and be able to travel anywhere in China. And to really connect to why you want that dream is also really helpful. So I'll just give you 1 more minute to wrap up your dream bucket. Hey, let's wrap that up there. And so now, having done this exercise and written down a bunch of dreams that you have for the future, for the next 10 years. Let's dive into our 3-year sketch visualization. I like to call this one the portal visualization. So come back into an upright seated position. And let's take 3 deep grounding breaths together. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to your natural breath now. And visualize yourself. So close your eyes, firstly, and visualize yourself standing in front of a mountain, a magnificent mountain. And as you start to walk up towards the mountain and approach it, you notice a little opening inside of it, which sparks your curiosity. So you walk towards it. And you watch your feet walk toward the opening across grass that is full of daisies and small flowers. And you notice there's a set of clean stone steps leading down into the mountain. And so you start taking these steps down until you reach a door. You reach out to the door handle, open it, and step inside. And as your eyes adjust to the dim lighting, you realize that you are in fact standing in a huge cavern within the mountain. And you notice 3 full-length mirrors in it. You walk up to the first mirror, intrigued. In this mirror, you notice that you're 3 years older, and you just have a feeling that we're now in 2028, looking into this mirror. And you notice that your reflection is wearing an exercise outfit, something sporty. There is something about the way that you're holding yourself, your poise, your posture, the glow of your skin, the tone in your muscles, that communicates that you're actually at the peak of your physical fitness and health. You're tension-free, there's a light in your eyes and a glossiness in your hair, a plumpness in your skin that tell you that you're really healthy and well because you have taken the time and the care to nourish and look after your body. Not just your body, but also your mind. Examine your reflection and really drink in this image of strength, stamina, and inner calm, you at your healthiest. Then walk over to the second mirror. In this mirror, your 3 years older self is wearing the perfect work outfit. So whatever your dream career or work is, this could be a sharp business suit and really smart shoes, or it could be surgical scrubs if you're a doctor or you want to be a doctor, or maybe something smart casual and stylish, or even athleisure. Whatever works for you. But the ease of your stance and the scene in the background tell you that you have reached real career success and you exude confidence from every cell. You can tell that you're feeling a sense of alignment with your purpose and self-actualization in your career and in what you're doing. And note all the details in this version of your reflected self so that you can remember what this feels like. Now walk over to the third mirror. in this mirror, this is a special mirror, you are happy and relaxed and surrounded by all the people that you love and who love you. All the relationships that you have built and nourished, friends, family, maybe a romantic partner, maybe not. You're in your favorite social setting, wearing something comfy and casual, and there's the sound of laughter, the look of joy on your face, and the obvious feeling of real love between the people that you're with, which makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Then you notice that there's actually a fourth mirror, set a little bit aside in the cavern. In this mirror, you are both fit and healthy, confident and successful, happy and loved. And you realize that this mirror, this reflection, is actually a combination of all the attributes shown in the previous three mirrors. But then as you step up to the mirror and walk towards it and reach out towards it, you realize that this is not actually a mirror, it's actually a portal. And this portal is a view into your life in 3 years' time. So step through into the portal, into your new life. Healthy, happy, confident, loved, and bask in the feeling of what this new life looks like. Every detail of it, from your health, your personal development, your spiritual growth, your career growth, your relationships, all the things that you have nourished and invested in over the next 3 years have come to fruition in this moment. And when you're ready, you exit the portal and you find yourself standing once again in this huge cavern. You know that something has changed in your life forever from this moment. Something good. You've got a good feeling about things from now on, the next 3 years. And then slowly imagine yourself leaving the cavern, walking back up the stone steps with a bit of lightness in the way that you move. And so when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and make a note of anything that struck you about this exercise and any images that arose in any of the mirrors that you could potentially add to your vision board, which we'll get to in a second. And so I'd just like to see how everyone is feeling after this visualization. We've got people feeling emotional, happy, motivated, inspired, crying. Hope those are good tears of grace rather than sadness. Positive, optimistic, empowered, hopeful. Awesome. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. And so now I'll give you 5 minutes to free flow write about your 3-year sketch. Think about where you would like to be at the start of 2028. Imagine maybe firstly how old you'll be by then, and imagine stepping into the highest version of your life in 3 years' time. So what do you want your health, career, personal development, relationships to all look like? And write down a compelling sketch for what everything looks like in 3 years. You might want to break this down into each of the 3 mirrors that we explored. And maybe add anything else that comes to mind, anything in terms of personal development or spiritual development or anything at all that comes up for you. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to write down your 3-year sketch. And just to clarify, this is writing out in words, so not actually sketching, drawing. Although you can do that as well if that helps you to really get into it, but ideally writing in words, you would love your life to look like in 3 years? Okay, and just about a minute or two left to wrap up you writing about your 3-year vision for yourself. Wheel of Life exercise now. So hopefully you have a bit more clarity on what your 3-year vision looks like. This is something you can come back to and update. Again, today is a quick overview, a light version of all of these powerful exercises to hopefully give you an idea of how they work and how you can integrate them into your own life and make a really strong start on it. But again, if you want a deeper dive on this, Ali's mentioned a bunch of resources that and courses that are coming up that can help you to really do this in much greater depth. Unfortunately, we just don't have the time today. So, the Wheel of Life exercise. This is something that I come back to on a weekly basis as part of my weekly review, but I also find it a very helpful thing in terms of people answering already. That's very quick. In terms of thinking about where we want our life to go. You might be familiar with this, you might not be. If not, then I'll explain. Essentially, it's a holistic life assessment tool. And this helps to categorize your life into different areas. So for example, your physical health, mental health, family, friends, romance, career, finances, personal growth, and purpose and contribution. And then you can rate how you're doing in each of these areas and how satisfied you are in each of them. So I've just popped this up here so that you guys can think about where you are right now relative to where you really want to be, where you'd be fully satisfied out of 10. So things like physical health could include How well are you working out? How strong is your body? How fit do you feel? What about your skin, your nutrition, your sleep? Mental health is maybe stuff like mindfulness, how present you feel, how well you're managing stress, how intense your work is, and how much time you take to really disconnect and ground down and really take care of your mind. Family and friends, how connected you're feeling to these relationships, because a quote from Esther Perel that I love is, the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. And so how social are you? Are you connecting to people as much as you'd want? In terms of romance or love, this could be in terms of a partner, or if that's not for you, this could also be in terms of self-love. How much romance and love do you feel in your day-to-day life? In terms of career or work, this is how you're feeling in terms of what's the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Same for finances. Are you investing your money? Are you budgeting well? Are you confident and comfortable in your financial situation right now? Personal growth is any skills that you want to learn. So for me, I put stuff like language learning in this category, but for you, it might be something completely different. Anything that you want to work on in terms of your personal development. Maybe this is even character traits or skills like public speaking. And finally, purpose and contribution, which is a little bit abstract potentially, but one of the most important ones on this wheel, because it's where we find our meaning. What is the meaning of all of these things that we're doing? Do we feel purposeful and aligned with the mission that we're on? And how do we feel about the contribution that we're making to the world, any service that we are providing to the world? So it's interesting to see you guys' scores here. So it's hovering around sort of mid-4s to mid-5s for most things. It seems like family and friends is leading the pack at 5.8. Mental health and personal growth is also pretty good. Love to see it. Finances is the one that is currently the lowest at 4.1. So that's interesting. And one thing just to note is, this is totally optional, but I've made a completely free Wheel of Life tracker. This is what I use every single week to track my Wheel of Life. Essentially, it's an Excel or a Google sheet, which I input all of my numbers in each week. I can track it over time. There's an automatic graph that creates this visualization of how things are going over time and calculates averages automatically. And also gives you space to add any notes to spot cause and effect, patterns, trajectories in your Wheel of Life. If you'd like to check it out, then feel free to get a free copy, either following this link, izzyseeley.com/wheel, or scanning this QR code over here. So let's get in to the meat of the session, which is the vision boards. Firstly, the big question that I often get from people is, how do vision boards work? I think they sometimes get a bit of a bad rap, because people are like, oh, how on earth is this even going to work? But I'm going to tell you exactly how it works, and it's grounded in cognitive neuroscience. Essentially, life-changing opportunities are passing by us every single day. There is maybe someone that we meet at a party, or a potential romantic connection, or the opportunity to reach out to a friend, or to learn something new, or spend those extra 2 hours in the day working on your new business. And so looking at your vision board every single day empowers you to grasp these. And let me explain exactly how this works. Essentially, the way the brain works, this will be a whistle-stop explanation, by the way, so hopefully I won't send you guys to sleep. This is stuff I love, by the way. So our brains filter all of the inputs that we're getting. So all the sensory inputs, our vision, what we're hearing, our thoughts even, our sensations on our body. There is so much information just pouring into our brains all the time that if we actually seriously processed every single thing that was coming into our consciousness, we would go insane. We would literally go insane because there'd just be too much information and our brains would be overwhelmed. So fortunately, we've evolved a protective mechanism against this, which is selective attention. And this is mediated by the reticular activating system, which is a part of the brain near the base of the brain, which is dedicated to filtering information and deciding, is this important or not? And essentially, if it categorizes things as not important, which is the vast majority, really 99% of all the inputs coming in, then that will stay in your subconscious and just be forgotten and allowed to pass by. However, the 1% that's flagged as important, you actually become conscious of, and you're like, okay, I've noticed these things going on. And as human beings, we are very visual. There is a whole lobe of the brain, the occipital lobe at the back of the brain over here, dedicated to visual processing, which is a huge chunk of the brain that is just dedicated to one sense. And so looking at a vision board daily helps you to tap into this and align your head and your heart, signaling to your RAS, your reticular activating system, that what you're looking at, what you're thinking about is important, in fact. And so then information that would have been previously discarded by the RAS, the subconscious info that actually is relevant to your dreams and your vision, becomes conscious and actionable. Again, allowing you to grasp these life-changing opportunities. So let's build yours now. I hope you're excited for this bit. This is one of my favorite bits of doing a future sketch. So start by opening your Pinterest tab. And I like to go to pinterest.com/ideas. If you don't have an account, you might already have an account, but you don't need one. And that basically brings up an explore page with a search bar at the top. And open up another tab with a new Google Slides sheet. So you can just type in slides.new, and that should immediately open up a new Google Slides. And so then on Pinterest, you want to go to, hang on, let me see if I can screen share me doing this. Is this showing? Okay, so actually firstly I'll show you some examples of completed vision boards. Everybody's vision board looks completely different, as you'll see. So this is just on Google, having a look at potential ideas for vision boards. As you can see, like some of them are looking very aesthetic, some of them are looking very crazy. It's just meant to speak to you. So your vision board will not look like anybody else's. And again, on Pinterest over here, these are some examples of vision boards and what they could look like. So what you're going to do is in this top bar of Pinterest, you're going to type in something that you want to add into your vision board. So this could be inspired by your Wheel of Life or your 3-year sketch that you've written out and the portal visualization that we did. So for example, for me, for example, I wanted to do a lot more yoga. So I'll just type in yoga and see what comes up. Oops, internet's a little slow, it seems. Aesthetic, maybe aesthetic as well. Okay, and then scroll through and see, oh, okay, these are some pictures here. And then if you come across a picture that you feel like, oh, that's magnetic, that really resonates, that's exciting or feels motivating and inspiring in some way. So for example, maybe this picture over here, then I might click into it. And firstly, Pinterest will suggest some more similar pictures down below. So if you want something similar, then you can just keep scrolling. And that's the thing I love about Pinterest for vision boarding. And then if I go to a Google Slides tab, so slides.new, then what I can do in here is I just copy the image and chuck it in. And there we go. Now we've got an image in here. And so don't worry about arranging things yet. We will go through a few categories of life inspired by the portal mirror visualization. And I'll invite you to dump a bunch of pictures that resonate from Pinterest into your Google Slides, and we'll go through it later at the end. So let's get started with health and personal development vision. We'll add in personal development just in the interest of time. So I'll give you maybe 5 minutes or so to go to Pinterest and start building out your very own vision board in this area. I like to go by category because then it helps to direct the things that I'm searching for, and Pinterest will automatically suggest things algorithmically based on what I'm searching for and what I'm clicking on. So maybe think about things in terms of exercise or fitness, physical skills, nutrition, sleep, mindfulness, or personal development, skills that you want to learn, experiences that you want to have, things that you want to do. Anything to do with your personal self start searching on Pinterest, and I'll give you a couple of minutes to make a start on this. One thing to note as well is people often ask about what kind of time frame should my vision board reflect? And there is no fixed answer to this because a vision board is different to goal setting. It's similar but different, where you're setting a direction for yourself, a vision, but you're not necessarily saying exactly when you want to achieve things by. Because essentially what you're doing is you're setting up your brain and your body and your mind and everything to align towards going in this direction, but you're not necessarily setting like a SMART goal or setting like a specific cutoff. So I would suggest maybe having a time frame of around 3 years is good, which is why vision boards link in so well with the 3-year sketch. So I like to make my vision board for around a 3-year time horizon, things that I could do within that time. So I'll give you a couple minutes now, and let's put some music on and start vision boarding. So Ali is currently going through this exercise with all of us. So he has offered to share what he's up to on his vision board in real time, so you guys can get a sense of how this should look like. So I'm going to stop sharing and hand over to Ali to share what he's doing.
Bonjour, everyone. I'm just going to show this very briefly. And Izzy, you can tell me, am I doing this right? Can you see this?
Yes, I can see it. This is looking good. This is looking great. So you're searching for something that feels exciting and popping it in. So I see you've got some acro yoga, a fit body with a great background. I love that. That's very exciting. Is that BJJ?
Yep. This is a sort of co-working space. I kind of jumped the gun on the work stuff. So let me put that into a different one.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way to do it as well, is to categorize it, create a new slide for each category.
What about if I want like a really nice house? Which category does that go in? Is that in the self category or?
That can go in. Honestly, the categories are more a tool to help you think of things that you want to put in your vision board. Because the biggest issue that people come across with vision boarding is they're like, oh, what do I put on my vision board? I have no idea even where to begin. So the categories are really good as a catalyst to get you started. But in terms of things like lifestyle and where you want to live, your environment, I'd usually put that in the self category. It depends how you want to split the categories up. Initially, in the full version of a vision boarding session, I would actually go by the Wheel of Life categories probably, but unfortunately we don't have time to go through all 8 categories. So put it in whichever category you feel like. Put it on a different slide if you want. This is all very, very much an art, not a science. So you've got a bit of art going on, some music. It's looking very aesthetic as well. Okay, awesome. Should we move to the next? Let me get back to sharing. Great, so hopefully you've got something of a health and a self vision. And the next category is in your career, business, finances. And so in this category, maybe searching at what kind of work you want to be doing, how you feel about your work. A vision board doesn't have to always be literal. It can be an image that evokes a certain feeling. Maybe think about how much money you're making and how much money you're investing, how confident you feel in what you're doing. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to start on that. Ali, should I hand over to you again to share your screen?
No, I'll share mine once I'm kind of done with it.
Okay, once it's more done. Awesome. Okay, so hopefully you've got a bit of an idea of career and work section. Next is, oh wait, hang on, relationships, just in the interest of time. Unfortunately, I'm already overrunning, so let's get cracking with relationships. What kind of relationships you want to build? What do you want those to feel like? Your friends, your social life, your family, romance. And a category that I really like to think about as well is self-love and your relationship with yourself. How are you taking actions that align with cherishing yourself and treating yourself like somebody that you love? So I'll just give you a couple more minutes on this, maybe 3 minutes. So hopefully now you've got a bunch of pictures in your Google Slides, and now it's time to hone your magnetic vision. So take a look again at all of the things you put into your Google Slides and look through all the pictures, removing any that no longer really deeply resonate. We don't want to overcrowd a vision board ideally. You can put basically as much as you want on there, but it's easier to check in because remember, we want to check in with our vision board every single day and put it somewhere that we can see every single day. So if there's too much going on, it will be difficult to really deeply connect with each of the images on your vision board. So sometimes less is more here. So remove any that no longer really feel magnetic. And then loosely arrange the images you've selected by category. So, Ali, are you happy to be an example on this?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Should I share my screen?
Yes, I'll just stop sharing. There we go. And over to you.
Okay, so I made three different slides. One for the self category, one for the work one, which I hadn't quite had time to flesh out, and then for relationships.
Nice. Okay, amazing.
This girl in the middle is supposed to be you, by the way, just for the record.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that. So from here, essentially, put them on one slide and drag them into one slide area and arrange them roughly by the category that they're in. So all the career and hustle stuff should roughly go in one place, all the relationship stuff roughly in one place, and all the like self, personal development, health stuff roughly in one place. So you kind of have this somewhat method to the madness on your vision board. And so I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to do that, maybe just 3 minutes. Sorry, we're overrunning, unfortunately.
How important is it that it all fit on one, like, as part of my homework, can I switch this to like Figma or something so I have more space? Or is the idea that it's like a one-pager that you can actually look at?
So having a one-pager is ideal because then you can look at it every day. And so once you've created a vision board, and I was going to talk about this a little bit after, but I can chat about it now. Essentially, you want to either print it out or put it somewhere that you see it every day. So for me, I like setting it as my wallpaper. So either a desktop wallpaper or a phone background. So arrange it into a shape which will fit that and put it there so that every day you can be aligning with your vision board. In terms of printing it out, there are 2 ways that you can go about this. You can decide basically how big you want it on one piece of paper and send it to get professionally printed, which is really nice because then you have a really nice tangible vision board that you can hold. You can put it somewhere that you'll see it every day, maybe somewhere by your dresser or by your desk. Or you can print out each of the individual pictures and then stick them down on a big piece of card, a bit more scrapbook style. So those are probably the 3 ways I'd recommend getting your vision board into a finished product, as it were. So wallpaper on either your phone or your desktop, printing it out professionally, so exporting it as a big image and then sending it to a printer, or printing out each of the individual pictures yourself and then scrapbooking it on a big piece of card. I personally like the wallpaper one though, because that's, I mean, I'm always by a screen basically. Awesome. So shall we wrap up this portion of the, so how's your thing going? Okay, nice. Awesome. Let me share screen again. Oops, is that working? Nice. So now that we have created our vision board, or at least a version 1 of the vision board, let's really connect to what we have created. So before closing your eyes, and it says close your eyes, don't close them just yet, take a look at your vision board and really take it all in, soak it all up, these images that you have selected while being in a state of being connected to where you want to go in your life in the next 3 years. And then once you've taken it all in and looked at all these magnetic images that you've selected, then close your eyes and hold these images in your mind's eye. Let's just take one final deep breath together. A deep inhale through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again just to fill up the very top of your lungs, and then open your mouth and exhale with sound, relaxing into your vision that you've just created. Now with your eyes closed, visualize yourself back at the mirror portal stepping into your life in 2028, 3 years from now, embodying all of the achievements, the feelings, the images of your vision board all coming together, coming to life. And lean into how it feels to really experience life like this. Your health, your relationships, work, personal growth, purpose, all aligning in your dream life, which you have just designed. While you're in this place and visualizing yourself being here, recognize all of the efforts that it took to get to this place. Because they don't happen on their own. They happen with continued attention. And so make a commitment to yourself right now that you're going to check in with your vision board regularly to really make sure that you're staying on track and aligning with where you want to go. Whenever you're ready, come back to the present moment and gently blink open your eyes again. And if you enjoyed the session so far, one thing that I wanted to mention is for the next step of actually making your vision board happen, it's all good and well having a vision, but actually taking action on our vision is the next part. And Ali's going to talk a bit more about this in developing your quarterly quests. But I just wanted to mention a bit of software that we're currently working on, because I've personally struggled with having a vision, but not necessarily actually executing on making it happen. Because setting a vision is good, all good and well, but you need a system and a plan to back it up. And so with Ali, I've been working on this app called Progress Pal, which is essentially an accountability system to help you to go from vision to action. And so we're releasing it very early stage of beta testing to a small group of users. And so if you'd like to hear more about it, or maybe even become a founding member, then check out progresspal.club, and you can read a little bit more about what the mission of the app is, and maybe consider becoming a founding member or signing up for some updates. If you enjoyed this session as well, this was a very brief overview of creating a 3-year sketch, and hopefully it's given you some good content already and a really solid start to it. But if you'd like to go deeper on a longer, more in-depth session to really get to a place where you feel super, super confident about your 3-year sketch, your future sketch, your vision board, you might want to join the Life OS course, which is essentially connecting all of these things into a broader productivity system for your life. And so I think someone might leave that in the chat down below. Is someone leaving it in the chat? Yes, Live OS, awesome. And again, I know most of you guys, this is the first time you've seen me or heard me talking. If you enjoyed this session, you might also enjoy my YouTube channel or my newsletter. I write a newsletter every week called Letters to My Younger Self. You can check it out over on my website as well. So let's just check in at the very end of the session on how you're feeling after completing your future sketch. Confident, clarity, inspired, motivated, happy, emotional, great. Love to feel great. That's awesome. Nice. Clarity. Clarity is so important. So I'm glad some of you guys are feeling that. And what did you find most useful in this session? This is the first time I've run a session like this, so it would be good to see how this has landed, and anything in particular that you found the most helpful. Okay, vision board is coming up front and center. Clarity, vision, visualization. Okay, nice. And so with that, that's a wrap on this session. And I'd like to hand it over to my lovely husband, Ali, to take you through setting up your quarterly quests. So now you have a clear vision to work towards. The next step is breaking this down into quarterly quests to make an actual action plan and make this happen. So I'll hand over to Ali.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much, Izzy. That was very helpful. I now have a vision board and I absolutely love it. I'm also opening up the chat. Guys, what did you think of the session? Let's show Izzy some love. As a first time running a session for this many people. Just before doing the session, Izzy was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so scary! I can't believe it. There's gonna be like so many people there. This is like the biggest audience Izzy's ever done anything for ever." And was like frantically trying to make the presentation today, but trying to make it as valuable as possible. So, man, seeing loads and loads of love in the chat.
Oh, love. Wow. Thanks, guys. Well, thanks for having me on as well. It's been amazing to give a presentation to so many of you guys. So I hope you found some value from it. Hope it was helpful or interesting in some kind of way. Wow, so many comments. Oh, thanks for all the love. So sweet. Oh, cool. I'm feeling emotional now as well. Well, I know, right? Okay, I'll let you guys crack on with quarterly quests, but it's been great to be here. And I'm wishing all of you the very best with making your vision a reality. So I'll leave you to it.
Cool. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good sesh. Thank you very much, Izzy. Let me put the spotlight back on myself, because obviously I can't stand for it to be on someone else for an extended period of time. Naturally, that was a joke, by the way. Love that session. I now have a vision board. This is very exciting. Okay, so we are going to take a break, I believe, before the next session. Are we taking a break before the next session? Let me just consult my notes where I made a list of the running order. Crap. This is how you know it's live. Oh, I'm being told we do not have time. Cool. You know what? I think we can make it happen, actually. Let me just have a very brief look. It is currently... Oh yeah, we do have time. I built time into this. This is good. There's a vibe. Unless my team know something that I don't, which would be interesting. Cool. We are in fact going to take a break. Okay, they say do what you like. Haha. Okay, awesome. We are in fact going to take a 15-minute break. So we are going to come back at 40 minutes past the hour. It's currently 11:24. We are going to be resuming at 11:40. So I am going to stick a little Zoom timer on screen, because we are going to take a little bit of a break. And feel free, I'm going to use the break to just add more stuff to my vision board, because freaking love it. We also just ordered some McDonald's earlier, because we were like, you know what? We haven't had McDonald's in years, but we've got a session nighttime, so we might as well do the thing. Just before we go into the break, let me share my screen with you guys, just to do, you know, I love to plug things. Again, what I'm going to plug is the fact that we are running the Life OS, Life Operating System course, starting January 13th. That's like 8 days from now. So if you would like to join us for 3 weeks in January to build out your own Life Operating System with more of the vision stuff, so Life Compass, Future Sketch, and quarterly quests, but also, more importantly, arguably, the action stuff around the Focused Hour Formula, the Productive Day Protocol, and the Balanced Week Blueprint, there is a QR code. Feel free to scan that QR code. You can check out the website. I've got a bunch of... I made a little video on the website that tells you a little bit about what the course is, what it's about, because we had a few emails from people being confused about what's the difference between this and Productivity Lab. On that note, LifeOS is a productivity system, whereas Productivity Lab is an accountability system and program. It's kind of confusing. To be honest, it's my fault for naming these things badly, but LifeOS is a productivity system that helps you figure out what to do and helps you manage your time. Productivity Lab is an accountability system that helps you actually take action. The way I think about it, because I noticed one of the questions in the thing was like, what's the difference between these two? It's sort of like okay, so I took a course the other day called, what was it called? It was called Movie Star Body, MSB, Movie Star Body. This is a course where some guy who's jacked, who trains movie stars on how to get jacked, has an online course teaching me and other people in this online course how to get jacked. So it's like the system for nutrition, the system for working out, the system for like how to stay consistent with it, all that kind of stuff. That is the sort of course and system. But then there's a whole accountability element as well. And so LifeOS is the course and system to teach you how to build your own productivity system. And for some people, that's going to be enough. For some people, it's enough to know what the workout plan is, and then they're able to just follow it themselves. Whereas, for a lot of people, it's like you've got the workout plan, but then you also struggle to get yourself to the gym to take action consistently. If you struggle to actually take the action consistently, and you want to be surrounded by other people as part of an accountability system to help you take action together, that is what Productivity Lab is for. I kind of think of it like, sort of like CrossFit or Peloton. CrossFit and Peloton, basically, they're like group exercise classes where you rock up and do the thing. You could just do it on your own. Loads of people just run on their own. Loads of people just do exercise on their own. Loads of people just like cycle on their own. I'm not one of those people. I don't like cycling and running and exercising on my own. So I prefer to be in a group of other people or with a personal trainer as an accountability mechanism. That is what Productivity Lab is, for the people who are asking. But LifeOS is the productivity system course. And if you sign up to Productivity Lab, you get the course for free. But it's a bit complicated. We need to do a better job with naming these things because I admit it is a little bit confusing. But if you scan the QR code and look on the website, which is also linked in the chat, you can find more information about LifeOS and also about Productivity Lab. And both of these things have the Help Ali Sleep at Night money back guarantee, so you can always get your money back if you don't like them for whatever reason. Anyway, we now have 13 minutes left of our break while I was just spieling. So I'm going to take a break for 13 minutes, and I will see you back again in 13 minutes. Boom.
I see that once again, the responsibility to corrupt my fellow students falls to me.
The trouble with schools is, they always try to teach the wrong lesson. Believe me, I've been kicked out of enough of them to know. They want you to become less callow, less shallow. But I say, why invite stress in? Stop studying strife and learn to live the unexamined life. Dancing through life, skimming the surface, gliding where turf is smooth. Life's more painless for the brainless. Why think too hard when it's so soothing? Dancing through life, no need to tough it when you can slough it off. As I do, nothing matters, but knowing nothing matters. It's just life, so keep dancing through. Dancing through life, swaying and sweeping, and always keeping cool. Life is fraughtless when you're thoughtless. Those who don't try never look foolish. Dancing through life, mindless and careless. Make sure you're wearless. Trouble is rife. Woes are fleeting. Blows are a glancing when you're dancing through life. Let's go down to the Oysters Ballroom. We'll meet there later tonight. We can dance to the slide. Find the prettiest girl, give her a whirl. Right on down to the Oysters Ballroom. Come on, follow me. You'll be happy to be there. Dancing through life. If only because dust is what we come to. Nothing matters, but knowing nothing matters. It's just life. It's just life.
Elfie, now that we're friends, I've decided to make you my new project.
Oh, you really don't have to do that.
I know. That's what makes me so nice. Whenever I see someone less fortunate than I, and let's face it, right? Who isn't? Less fortunate than I, my tender heart tends to start to bleed. And when someone needs a makeover, I simply have to take over. I know exactly what they need. And even in your case, though it's the toughest case I've yet to face, don't worry, I'm determined to succeed. Follow my lead, and yes, indeed, you will be popular. You're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper ploys when you talk to boys, the ways to flirt and flounce. I'll show you what shoes to wear, how to fix your hair, everything that really counts to be popular. I'll help you be popular. You'll hang with the right cohorts. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, 'cause you've got an awfully long way to go. Don't be offended by my frank analysis. Think of it as personality dialysis. Now that I've chosen to become a palace sister and advisor, there's nobody wiser, not when it comes to popular. I know about popular, and with an assist from me to be who you'll be, instead of dreary who you were. Well, there's nothing that can stop you from becoming popular. Lar, la, 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 la. We're gonna make you popular. When I see depressing creatures with unprepossessing features, I remind them on their own behalf to think of celebrated heads of state or especially great communicators. Did they have brains or knowledge? Don't make me laugh. They were
Popular.
right. It's all about popular. It's not about aptitude. It's the way you're viewed. So it's very true to be very, very popular, like me. And though you protest your disinterest, I know clandestinely. You're gonna grin and bear it, your newfound popularity. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, la. You'll be popular. Just not quite as popular as me.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. And with every broken bone, I swear I lived. I swear I lived. Every broken bone. I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. And with every broken bone, I swear I lived. I swear I lived.
Alpha, why can you stay calm for once instead of flying off the handle? I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy how you hurt your cause forever. I hope you think you're clever.
I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy too. I hope you're proud how you would grovel in submission to feed your own ambition.
So though I can't imagine how, I hope you're happy right now. Molly, listen to me. Just say you're sorry. You can still be with the wizard once you've worked and waited for. You can have all you ever wanted.
I know. But I don't want it. No. I can't want it anymore.
That I was in my pride.
Okay, cool. Hopefully, we should be ready to go. Fantastic. All right. Let me switch to this little share screen situation. You should, in theory, be able to see that. And hopefully, we can now move on to the quarterly quest log. Wonderful. All right. So, welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little session from Izzy, which was about the future sketch, which is the second component of Vision. We are now going to be moving on to the quarterly quest log, or quarterly quests, which is the third and final component of Vision. Again, just a little shameless plug. If you want to go deeper on this stuff, we have a course that is coming up that talks about it. But the idea behind these 2 days is that we take you through some of the important stuff so that whether you do or don't attend our course, I suspect most of you probably won't, and that is okay. Whether you do or don't attend the course that's coming up, you'll still get a lot of value from these 2 days, the workshops over these 2 days, because they will help guide you and figure out what your goals are going to be for 2025. Now, we are going to do something a little bit unusual in this productivity space, and we are not going to be talking about annual goals. I'm going to talk about exactly why that is in just a moment. But the first thing to say is that success, as we know, is a combination of vision and action. Vision is kind of like the direction that you're going, and action is the actions that you're taking to head in that direction. Now, I'm going to stop this screen share and do, hopefully, if this works. If this were, oh my goodness, that is a poor angle, but that's okay. Hang on, let me just make sure. Got my phone away, SD cards. This is how you know it's live, folks. None of this pre-recorded content nonsense that you see on YouTube, am I right? Okay, in theory, this should still be working. I want to kind of draw out a little bit around how these things go together, because I think it's worth understanding and appreciating where this idea of quarterly quests fits into the bigger picture. Do I have a notebook not unlike this one that I don't have to ruin? That's probably fine. Okay, cool. Is it fine? Do I have a pen? No, it's probably fine. Yeah, cool. So, essentially with Envision, we have kind of very long term, and this is what we're calling the life compass, where you did the exercise yesterday. Well, most of you did the exercise yesterday on writing your own eulogy. That and various other things, I've done a couple of videos about this. That and various other things are ways that you figure out in the very, very long term, where do you want your life to be headed. But that's not itself very useful. It becomes more useful when you bring it down to what we call the future sketch, which is a sort of 3 to 10 year time horizon. I like 3 years because 3 years is kind of nice. And that is where, like, we've got the 3-year sketch and the vision board and stuff. And the vision board and 3-year sketch and that sort of portal visualization and stuff. All of this is helping us figure out what direction we want to be moving in a 3-year time horizon. This is useful in giving us a sense of direction, but 3 years is also way too long to be actually taking meaningful and motivated action, because generally if you're like, oh man, I'm going to get this thing 3 years from now, it doesn't feel that motivational. It's kind of nice and it feels very motivational and inspiring when you're doing stuff like this, but in day-to-day life, when life gets busy, it's too far away to be that useful. The way we bring it down then is by quarterly quests. And the idea behind quarterly quests is that based on your future sketch, based on your 3-year vision of your life, you set quests every quarter, so every 90 days or every 12 weeks, that will hopefully help you get to the future to the future sketch. The way this fits into the system as a whole is, if I just like do a little bit of freestyle drawing, it's sort of like you got vision and you got action, and those are the two things that lead to productivity, that lead to success. You've got your life compass, that goes to your future sketch, that goes to your quarterly quests. Within action, you have focused hours, which ladder up into productive days, which ladder up into balanced weeks. And this sort of in the middle is where the two things meet, where you have vision meets action, and they meet in the middle, and you get rocket fuel, and then you're off to the races. And everyone who is successful, they might not use this exact framework. In fact, they probably don't use this exact framework, but they have an idea of where they are going, and they're actually taking the actions to get there. Now, it's worth appreciating that. Should we go into this? Should we go into this? Yeah, I think we should go into this. I'm just going to go into it briefly. There's a little bit of a 2x2 matrix that you sometimes see. So let's say, okay, so this is action, and this is vision. And this is something that I developed over the years, of like doing a bunch of reading and research about this and speaking to loads of successful people and reading loads of biographies and stuff. You can be very good at vision, and you can be very good at action, or you can be bad at both. You can be bad at one or the other. And so you end up with this interesting 2x2 matrix. In this corner that we don't want to be in, we have what I call the drifters. You're a drifter if you don't have much of a vision for where you're going, and you're also not taking any action, right? You're sort of just drifting through life and whatever. If you have, there are some people that are really good at dreaming, i.e. they have a very strong vision, but they're not taking any action. These are the dreamers. The dreamers are high in vision but low in action. Then we have people who are high in action, like they're very good at doing stuff, but they don't really have a vision for where their life is going. These are the people who are very good at grinding, and they're on a bit of a hamster wheel, which is why we are calling them hamsters. I love this one. This is my favorite one. You're a hamster if you're very good at taking action, but you don't really know where you're going, because now you're just sort of taking action and sort of just like running on this hamster wheel without it really going anywhere. And then you have people who are good at vision, i.e. they've done these sorts of exercises to figure out where their life is going, and they also take action, and those are the productivity masters. So drifters, dreamers, hamsters, and masters. This is sort of like at least how I think of kind of productivity. We're working on a quiz to help you kind of assess, where are you on this productivity scale? But the point is, obviously, the place we want to be is we want to be productivity masters, where we're really good at the vision piece, and we're also really good at the action piece. So far, this weekend, we have done a little bit of life compassy stuff with the eulogy thing. I mean, there's lots of other things we could have done, but we focused on like one of them, but that's okay, because one is in many ways all you need. And we did a few of the tools with the future sketch. So we did the 3-year sketch, we did the vision board, we did the portal mirror thing. There's a few other things that you can do in the future sketch, but broadly that's pretty good. We are now moving on to quarterly quests, and that will be kind of the final official session before Cal Newport's guest workshop and before my extra workshop on AI-powered productivity. Then there are all these other things like focusing and then having productive days and having balanced weeks. This is the stuff that we teach you in the Life OS course, but obviously you don't have to, to be honest, do you need to take the course? I think you should take the course because I think the course is really good, but I know we have loads of students amongst us. I know we have loads of people who are not going to take the course. I want to make sure you get loads of value from this quarterly quest session as well, because the point of a productivity system like Life OS is that it helps you take action. If you don't need help taking action, great. You're already off to the races. You can do your own thing. Hopefully the quarterly quests, the future sketch, and the life compass that we're doing this weekend will help guide your vision and guide your direction. So that is kind of how, where was I going with this? That's kind of how we're fitting in to our bigger picture. And generally, where's my screen share? There it is. I think that's it. Yeah. Hopefully we should be good. I think I can just expand that, my screen. There we go. Back here. Good. So that is how quarterly quests fit into our big picture, build a life you love, life operating system. The whole point is that we're trying to build a life that we love. That requires figuring out what would a life we love actually look like. And that's where things like the eulogy and the vision board and stuff like that can help. And then the point is that quarterly quests, every 90 days, we are setting quarterly quests to move towards that vision for our life. And as you might know, if you've been attending any of our quarterly alignment workshops last year, we did 4 of them. We did an annual planning and then 3 quarterly planning webinars. We're planning to do those again this year. It's not going to be 2 whole days like this one is, but like every quarter, we're planning to do like a totally free 2 or 3 hour quarterly planning workshop. So you're going to set your quarterly quests today for the next 3 months. And then 3 months from now, you can do it again, or you can attend our completely free workshop again, or we're going to set your quarterly quests again. I like the idea of running these workshops every 3 months, because they also help me set my own quarterly quests, because otherwise I wouldn't do them. So yeah, it's sort of a selfish thing that I can do. And the fact that there's people watching me do the thing gives me accountability in order to set my own quarterly quests. Anyway, couple of points on why we are ignoring annual goals. Firstly, annual goals become irrelevant quite quickly. We've all been in that position where we set New Year's resolutions, and then, in my case, like I set a New Year's resolution, and then by the time February rolls around, that New Year's resolution is actually now irrelevant, because maybe I've gotten more data, maybe my business has changed, maybe my life has changed, and now this thing that I thought I was going to do in January is now irrelevant. I've had almost 0 New Year's resolutions that have continued to stay relevant beyond like halfway through the year. And so that's one reason to avoid annual goals. Annual goals also encourage procrastination. I had an annual goal last year where the goal was to host 6 mini adventures with family and friends. And I did like 2 of them, but I kept on saying, I've got a whole year to do this. I've got a whole year. I can do these whenever. I've got a whole year. And the whole year came and went, and I didn't really achieve that particular goal because I just kept on procrastinating and it was very easy to do it later. The thing with annual goals is that you have to break them down into manageable chunks anyway. Any business, for example, that does annual planning also has to do quarterly planning in order to hit their annual goals. If you have an annual goal of like writing a book in 1 year, good luck. It's never going to happen if your only goal is write a book in 1 year. You have to break it down into manageable chunks, generally in terms of like, okay, this week, this month, in the next quarter, what am I going to be doing? So annual goals are like generally big, but they require breaking down anyway, but also they run into the problem of irrelevancy. And there are various other reasons why annual goals are kind of annoying. There is a very good book called The 12-Week Year. I've actually made a video about this, if you're interested in watching it. Actually, someone in the team, can we link the video that we've done on the main channel about the 12-week year? Basically, they argue that you should split up your year into 12-week chunks, i.e. quarters, because 12 weeks is 3 months, which is 1 quarter. And I read that book last year, and it had enormous impact on me. And since then, I've started focusing on quarterly quests rather than annual goals. And I found it way nicer for my life and for my achievements and for my productivity and all of the fun stuff. So, what are quarterly quests? Quarterly quests are 90-day-ish goals or projects that you are committed to achieving. Those are the ones we are going to set for ourselves today. I personally like splitting them into just 2 categories, work and life. So I have some quarterly quests for work and some for life. Why do I split them into work and life? Well, because work and life, you spend about 8 hours a day on work, and about 8 hours a day on life, and hopefully 8 hours a day sleeping. And so roughly, for most of us, we're spending around about half of our lives at work, and the other half of our lives on everything else. You could split up your quarterly quests into health, wealth, love, happiness, impact. You could split them up into multiple different categories. I have tried dozens of ways of splitting this out, and the thing I've landed on is just work and life. I like to keep things simple. What are my quarterly quests or my quarterly goals for work? What are my quarterly quests or goals for life? That's it. I will screen share my... Can I screen share my thingy? Is there anything else interesting here? Anything that I need to not show? I'll show you. This is what my to-do list looks like. Nothing overly confidential here, I hope. But yeah, I mean, this is what it looks like. You can see I've got work and life as my kind of 2 main... I also have Iram and Angus as 2 projects. These are team members of mine who I delegate stuff to sometimes, just as a reminder. But I basically put projects into work and life. VoiceBell, company growth relocation, Life OS, Mastermind, AI agents. Within life, I've got martial arts, Thailand, Baby Moon, spiritual enlightenment, Operation Don't Die. These are the different projects I'm working on, but I just split them up into work and life because it keeps things simple and keeps things nice. So, this is another thing that I have learned over the years that I'm going to encourage you to do. Each area, work and life, can only have one and only one main quest. We're going to go over that and more about that in just a second. But one and only one main quest. But each area can have additional side quests, and I would recommend a maximum of 3 per area. This is very much a case of less is more. So, this is worth going into, right? Because generally, a mistake that lots of people make when it comes to goal setting is setting too many goals. If you set too many goals, you are very unlikely to make progress on any of them because you've just set too many goals. When businesses set too many goals, they don't make progress on any of them because they've just set too many. I have found that splitting them up into one main quest, where I ask myself, this quarter, what is the one thing that I really, really, really want to get done? And then a couple of optional side quests where if I don't manage to do the side quests, there were side quests anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I have to get my main quest done. And if you just set one main quest in work and one main quest in life, you're quite highly likely to achieve that one main quest. But if you're trying to set 8 different main quests because all these different things are important, if everything's important, nothing is important, and nothing works out. Finally, I like to call them quests. If you guys have read the book, Feel Good Productivity, the whole shtick is that when we find ways to make our work more fun and more enjoyable, we are more likely to be productive, more likely to be creative, less likely to be stressed, more likely to have energy to give to the other areas of our life. The whole point is that quests are just more fun and adventurous and exciting than objectives or goals and projects or tasks. It's the same sort of idea, but just by calling them quests, they just feel more good. It feels like each quarter you are on a mission, you're on a quest. We were thinking quarterly missions, but QMs sounds less interesting than quarterly quests because it rolls off the tongue and it's like alliterative and stuff. Each quarter you're on a quest and you're just going to get that one quest done. So the point of today's workshop on this area is, let me put some yoga meditation music on. I hope, no, not that, this one. I hope you can hear my sound or something. The whole point is that we are going to be setting these quarterly quests for ourselves. So, prompt number 1. This is something to think about. In work, we're going to do life second, but we're starting with work. In the work area of your life, what is the single most important goal or project for you to accomplish in the next 3 months? That is going to be your work main quest. So, have a think about this just now. I've got more prompts for this, but just what's the first thing that comes to mind? In work, what is the single most important goal or project for you to accomplish in the next 3 months? That is going to be your work main quest. If you need prompting for this, here are a couple of suggestions. What's the one thing that, if accomplished, would move the needle the absolute most in your work? And obviously you can define work however you want. If you fast forward 3 months, what's the one accomplishment in work that would make you the most proud? That's another way of thinking about this. What is the one thing, if you did it this quarter, that would make everything else easier or unnecessary? What is the one thing? What is one thing that you've been postponing, but know would be transformative if you actually did it? Finally, you might think of it as, if I spent the first 2 hours of my workday purely focused on X, it would have an enormous impact for my work. What is X? This is going to be different for different people, but what is the first thing that comes to mind for this? I'm going to give you 30 more seconds to think about this, and then don't worry, we're going to refine this a little bit as we go along in the session. If you were to only do one thing, you're not allowed to do anything else. In the next 3 months in the work category, what's the one thing that if you just did that would move the needle the absolute most? Of course, there's all these other things that you have to do as well. Of course, I get it, 100%. But if you had a gun to your family's head and you just had to do one thing, complete one project, do one major initiative, what would it be? I'd love to ask you, what do you think your work main quest might be for this quarter? Get a new job, finish that course, a super algorithm, business ideas, 5 new clients, learn Python, get a new job, winning the job, do the PhD, graduate, help us in Iran, figure out how to pay for med school, learn data science, make 12 videos, find a job, study, love you, Ollie. I hope that's not your work main quest for the quarter. Become a Scrum Master, nice. YouTube, Progress Path for Android, copywriting. Okay, we have lots of responses. We are now going to refine this. So, this is my recommended phrasing. So I'm gonna tell you how I recommend you phrase this, and then I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to come up with your own legit work main quest for the quarter. Okay, sound good? If that sounds good, give me a little heart on the thing. Lovely, thank you very much. And if we have time for questions, I am keeping an eye on the Q&A thing. And we will answer questions as they come up as well, potentially. Cool, so this is my recommended phrasing of your quests. My work main quest is to ... This is the single most important thing for me to accomplish this quarter because ... To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st March 2025, I will have done A, B, and or C, which are objective verifiable criteria. More on that in just a moment. This feels really exciting and compelling for me because ... And to make sure I complete this quest, I am going to ... Okay, so this is an example of mine. You can see there's quite a lot of writing here. So, my work main quest is to make Life OS an absolute banger. Bit of a shit goal, it's kind of vague, but the whole point of the rest of it is to make this more concrete. This is the single most important thing for me to accomplish this quarter, because once the course is finished, it becomes our main calling card in the productivity niche other than my book. To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st March 2025, I'll have launched and delivered Cohort 3 in January 2025, I'll have created the Life OS field manual with all the concepts and tools, and I'll have filmed and released the evergreen version of the course. This feels really exciting and compelling for me because I get to put all my productivity, knowledge, and experience into the one thing, package it up nicely, and hopefully turn it into future books and apps, etc. I'm very excited by the prospect of people using the system to genuinely change their lives. And then to make sure I complete the quest, I am going to schedule the first 2 hours of each day to work on it until it's done, log my focus time spent working towards it, and 3, send daily progress updates to my team to hold me accountable. This is what a description of a quest looks like. Now, if we go back and look at some of the responses here. For example, read. Read is a good example of a poor phrasing of a work quest, because it's like, if I were to rework it, it would be, okay, my work main quest is to read more books. This is the single most important thing for me to accomplish this quarter, because I recognize that the man who does not read is in the same position as the man who cannot read, and every single successful person I've ever met or ever heard tells about the importance of reading, and I've realized that there is a major deficit in my life because I don't read enough books. Okay, fair enough. To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st March 25, I'll have done what objective verifiable criteria. So I commit that by 31st March 2025, I will have read 12 books and written a book review for each one and posted all 12 of those book reviews on my Instagram page or something, right? These are objective verifiable criteria that an objective third party could use to judge whether we've actually completed the quest. This is what forces it to be concrete. Lots of you in the sessions yesterday were like, what's your goal for 2025? To stop procrastinating. Okay, so it's like, stop procrastinating is a bad goal because you've probably had that goal for like 10 years and it hasn't worked. But because it needs objective verifiable criteria. How would an objective third party judge whether you have or have not stopped procrastinating? Right? And so the point of the objective verifiable criteria is to force you to make it a little bit more concrete. This reading quest feels really exciting and compelling for me because I'm so excited by the amount of knowledge I could be gaining from these books that I haven't yet had access to, and that feels really good. And to make sure I complete the quest, I am going to buy a Kindle, put it on my bedside table. I'm gonna block all social media apps on my phone first thing in the morning and last thing at night to ensure that I read. I will have a book in the toilet with me at all times so that I don't have to scroll on my phone and I can read instead. And when I go for my morning commute to work or to school, I will listen to 1 hour of Audible at 2x speed, and that will also help me read. All of this stuff is how you convert that goal of read into something that's actually going to get done. And so this is my recommended phrasing, and I'll put it up over here. And so for the next 5 minutes, please can you write down what is going to be your work main quest for Q1? My work main quest is to ... This is the single most important thing for me to accomplish this quarter because ... To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st March 2025, I will have done A, B, and or C, which are objective verifiable criteria, like someone else could tell, have you actually done the thing? This feels really exciting and compelling for me because ... We want to make sure that our quests feel exciting and compelling. Because if it doesn't feel exciting and compelling, it's never going to happen. You probably cannot discipline yourself enough like David Goggins does in order to do something that doesn't feel exciting and compelling. The point of quarterly quests is we want to do something that feels exciting and compelling. And to make sure I complete the quest, I am going to ... What are the plans and systems you're going to put in place to make sure you actually complete the quest for your one work main quest? Okay, I see a question in the Q&A, which is actually good. So the question is, I don't know who it's from, but the question is, oh, maybe I can show this. There we go. What if my goal is to just be better in X, like in being a developer or in being a designer? I don't know how to break it down. Okay, so being better is, let me see, how would I do this? Let's say I want to be a better designer. Okay, my work main quest is to improve my design skills. This is the single most important thing for me to accomplish this quarter because I would love to get my income to $100,000 a year and in work as a designer remotely, and I need to improve my design skills to get there. There's a compelling reason behind it. To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st, okay, so, and then I'm thinking, what would it take to be a better designer? Okay, well, I will have watched 2 online courses in their entirety focused on graphic design. That is objective and verifiable, will make me a better designer. I will have completed 1 new design project a week for my own portfolio. So that's, I will have completed 12 projects for my Dribbble portfolio or my Behance portfolio or whatever by 31st of March. Right, again, objective verifiable criteria. Someone else could look at my portfolio on Dribbble or Behance or whatever. What's up with these balloons? I don't understand. Is that like a reactions thing? Anyway, someone else could objectively verify, have I done this stuff and put it in my portfolio and put it on Dribbble and Behance, for example. I commit that I will also spend 2 hours every workday focusing on improving my design skills as verified by my time tracking, right? So I could be tracking my time using an app like Toggle or Forest or just like a Google Sheet, and I could take screenshots as evidence that I've actually spent the first 2 hours of each day focusing on getting better at design. Those would be objective verifiable criteria in order to get better at the thing. This feels really exciting and compelling for me because I absolutely love design, and I love the idea of improving my skills at it to the point that I'd be able to do it for a living and have fun, freedom, flexibility, fulfillment, and financial freedom through my work as a designer. That feels really enjoyable and compelling. And to make sure I complete the quest, I'm going to schedule the first 2 hours of every day to focus on design. I'm going to enlist my spouse as an accountability buddy, where I'm going to ask them to hold me accountable for it. And 3, I'm going to send screenshots to my group of web design friends every time I work on a new project so we can hold each other accountable and something like that, right? So that is how I would do this sort of thing. Be better in X. Like, the whole point of this sort of quarterly quest thing is that these prompts force you to get clearer about that particular goal. Because if the goal is clear and compelling, you're way more likely to achieve it. Okay, I'm going to stop yapping. Let's now give you a couple of minutes to get this done. Okay, 1 more minute to put this stuff down for your work main quest for Q1. Okay. How are you feeling having tried to figure out your work main quest? Hey, we've got a lot of people motivated, excited, clear, focused, confident. We have some people who are overwhelmed, scared, confused, unclear, unsure, nervous. Okay, so I put this image in here because I had a feeling that for some people, this task would be exciting and inspiring and stuff. And for other people, it'd be like, oh God, I can't even begin to, like, one thing. You say I have to just but I have to do this. I have to do all these 18 different things. And like, God, I don't know, like, don't have enough time to think about it. Like, and it's very natural to have that kind of overwhelm, unsure, unclear, like, what? This feels very big, all of that kind of response. What I would say is it's very natural. We saw that, overwhelmed, unsure, nervous was like the 8th most common word in the word cloud. So of the 18,000 people that we currently have here, like, probably a few thousand people are currently feeling overwhelmed, unclear, unsure, nervous, confused, that kind of thing. That's okay. That's totally normal. I would encourage you to sit with that feeling because, people ask me all the time for productivity advice. How do you become financially free? How do you achieve your goals? How do you stop procrastinating? How do you be disciplined? All that kind of stuff. All of the stuff becomes a lot easier when you have a compelling quest to work towards and you're not trying to do too much stuff. Generally, if you're a high achiever and you're feeling overwhelmed by this, you're probably trying to do too much stuff, which is why it feels weird to just focus on one thing. If you are not a particularly high achiever trying to do this, and you're struggling with discipline, or struggling with motivation, or struggling to get anything done, generally it's because the vision is not compelling enough. Like, maybe you have a big should behind the thing that you should do. Maybe you're like, oh, I should really study for that exam that I really don't care about. Or I should really apply myself in my job that I absolutely hate. If you don't enjoy the thing that you're doing, and you don't find it a compelling enough thing to work towards, it is very, very, very difficult to stay disciplined or motivated or to stay consistent with anything. And that seems to be, that is often another big reason as to why people get overwhelmed or unsure or unclear or nervous thinking about this sort of thing. Because if my thing was like, oh man, I really should prepare for that exam that I don't care about, or I really should do that work thing that I don't care about, the fact that I don't care about it is going to make me procrastinate all the way to Mars and back before I do the thing. So this is why we've arranged the prompts in this way. This feels really exciting and compelling for me because ... Like, you want to pick something that genuinely feels exciting because it's the emotion that fuels the discipline and the motivation. The other image I put over here is an hourglass because often it takes time to figure this stuff out. And I just gave you a few minutes in the session today, and that might not have been enough time for you to figure this out. But I would say if you haven't had time to figure out what your most important goal for the quarter is, you should really spend that time before working on anything to figure out what you actually want to work towards. Because image number 3, this is an image of an aeroplane, I think. Again, it's that example of like, each quarter you're embarking on this journey, and it's worth spending a little bit of time figuring out where the destination is. Because let's say I'm going to use this example. Let's say I'm in London and I'm flying to New York. That's a different journey compared to if I'm London and if I'm in London and I'm flying to Washington, or I'm flying to California, or I'm flying to Los Angeles, or I'm flying to the Caribbean, or I'm flying to Nigeria. These are all different journeys that I could take. And at the start of the quarter, if I'm not clear on my destination, it will be very, very, very hard for me to get anywhere because I'm not clear on where I want to go. This gets us into the hamster territory. Either you're a drifter and you're just sort of not taking action and also don't have a compelling vision, which is just a terrible place to be, and we don't want to be there. Or you're a hamster and you're good at taking action, but you don't know where you're going. Either way, it's worth spending the time, and it is worth battling through the overwhelm, the stress, the anxiety, all of the stuff in order to get clarity on what is the single most important thing. What is the work main quest? Cool. We are now moving on. Man, this Menti thing is getting really slow. I think because all the questions are coming in. The next question is, in life, what is the single most important goal or project for you to accomplish in the next 3 months? That is going to be your life main quest. Nice. Actually, before we do that, I'm curious. I'm going to open up the chat, and I would love to have just a little bit of a check to see if you have a work main quest. What is that work main quest? Let me just open the chat up, and if you wouldn't mind sharing in the chat, what is your work main quest? Schedule one live creative events. Nice. This is good. Okay, we've got people who are writing the good stuff. Lorraine, my work main quest is to submit my thesis proposal, the most important thing for me. I will have committed to this. Great. I love it. Got lots of one-line answers, but I get it. You've probably got the actual stuff written elsewhere. That's okay. Nice. Okay, lovely. Now, for everyone who wrote a one-line response, who has not done the whole like rigmarole of the the exercise, again, I would really, really, really recommend you find answers to these different questions, because by finding answers to these different questions, you will just have way more clarity on where you are actually going with your work and your life. Okay, let's keep going. So we are now moving on to the life main quest. And so the question is, and we're going to do a little 5-minute timer for this. In life, crap. Here we go. In life, what is the single most important goal or project for you to accomplish in the next 3 months? That's going to be your life main quest. And I'm going to give you an example. What is the one thing that, if accomplished, would bring the most joy, fulfillment, or peace to your personal life? If you fast forward 3 months, what's the one accomplishment that would make you feel the most proud? Or alternatively, another way to think about this might be, what's the one change that would most positively impact every other area of your life? Or what's the one thing you've been avoiding but know it would have a transformative effect on your relationships or happiness, or yourself? Or, if I dedicated an hour of each day purely focused on X, it would have a profound impact on my life. What is the thing? So, have a think about it, and at first glance, what do you think your life main quest might be for the quarter? Workout, yoga, assertiveness, meditation. Be invited by Ali Abdaal. Weight loss, sport, exercise, bulking, finances, quitting alcohol, and finding Jesus. Reading astrology, sleep hygiene, reaching out to friends. I'm curious, this is interesting. So let's just see what the AI is going to collect these different responses into. Also, there was a question in the chat of the music playlist. I have put a link in the Zoom chat to it. So yes, you now have the playlist of music. I'm going to hit enter to mark his answer, I think. How to stay committed to tasks in the calendar. I've got so many YouTube videos about this. I don't want to go... I could talk about this for hours on end, but I have talked about this for hours on end on YouTube, like how to be more committed, how to be more disciplined, how to take action. There's all YouTube videos about this stuff. I don't really want to waste your time by these questions being trying to deliver content that's already online. Although, actually, I might ask Cal Newport some of these questions. Yeah, maybe we could do a little Q&A with Cal Newport. That could be fun. Be like, hey Cal, how do you be more disciplined? How do you stay committed to tasks in the calendar? How do you prevent hyper-productivity or over-optimizing? So guys, keep the questions coming. Please use the upvote feature to upvote the questions that you like the most, because those are the questions that I'll probably be discussing with Cal when we do the session in half an hour-ish. Okay, this is taking absolutely ages. I'm just going to skip because this platform cannot cope with the amount of traffic we're throwing it. So, recommended phrasing. My life main quest is to ... This is the single most important thing for me to accomplish this quarter because ... To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st of March, I will have done A, B, and C. This feels really exciting and compelling for me because ... And to make sure I complete the quest, I am going to ... So, I will tell you what it looks like for me. This is my life main quest for the quarter. If it loads. Come on. Why isn't it loading? Oh, it's painfully slow. Painfully slow. Oh, I think it's because everyone's upvoting questions right now, so that it's struggling. Let me give it a few seconds to load. It's loaded on this screen, but not on this one. What's up with that? Let's try again. I might need to refresh. Hang on. Activity monitor. Have I got like massive CPU lag spikes? Alright, screw it. Let me just refresh. Don't mind me. Just doing a bit of refreshing, guys. Have a bit of a jiggle in your chair if you want while I'm trying to get this refreshed. Why is it taking ages to load? Right, it should be fine. Oh, I think I shouldn't have encouraged you guys to do the Q&A thing. Okay, let me see if I can find it on like a different screen. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to share a different screen, and I'm going to show you what my life main quest. Oh, but no, I need the presentation. I need this to load. Come on. Come on, Mentimeter. We got this. Hang on, let me try and turn off the Q&A feature, just because I think it's crashing everything. Dancing through life. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, nice. That helped. Enable Q&A on all slides. Oh, that made a massive difference. Okay, cool. So this is my life main quest. In theory, you can still see this, and that should be good. My life main quest is to build a martial arts habit into my life. This is the single most important thing for me to accomplish this quarter because I've been putting it off for years, and it will have a transformational effect on my health and hopefully my ability to defend myself and my family. To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st of March, I will have attended at least 11 classes, averaging one per week throughout the quarter. Crucially, I'm not putting any further requirements on myself. I'm not trying to get a black belt or a white belt, whatever the belts are. I'm not trying to be good. I'm literally just trying to show up because this is the first time that I'm going to be doing probably BJJ, and I just want to show up and see how it is because I like starting small with these things. This is my life main quest. This feels really exciting and compelling for me because I've been wanting to do martial arts for ages, and by making this quest happen, I'll figure out which one I enjoy, where I enjoy doing it, and can get started on climbing this new mountain of adventure. And to make sure I complete the quest, I'm going to spend an hour tomorrow, on Monday, making a Notion page with all nearby options, ask Izzy to hold me accountable, and check in with myself each week as part of my weekly review to make sure I've got a class scheduled for the following week. Feel free to screenshot this if you would like, if you want to have it as inspiration, but it's going to disappear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we are going to go to what is your life main quest for Q1? our life main quest is to ... It's the single most important for me, the most important thing for me to accomplish because ... To complete the quest, I commit that by 31st of March, I will have done A, B, and or C, which are objective verifiable criteria that an objective third party could verify if asked to. This feels really exciting and compelling for me because, as we know, if it doesn't feel exciting and compelling, it's not going to happen. And to make sure I actually complete the quest, what am I going to do? So we will give you a timer of a few minutes for that. Let's put on some more music and let's go for it. Alrighty, one more minute for this. Alrighty. How are you feeling, having tried to figure out your life main quest? excited, motivated, good, focused, happy, scared. Interesting. Some might say fear is a compass. Fear generally points us in the direction of things that we maybe want to do. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Final thing we are going to do is another quick prompt. What are some work or life side quests you might like to work towards this quarter? Try to make these as concrete as possible. So side quest is other things that would be nice to have, whereas your main quest is you must absolutely do this thing. It's the most important thing. The side quests are like, if I get around to it, I would love to be able to do X, Y, and Z as well. And it might be worth thinking about what are some other side quests you might like to accomplish this quarter. So we'll do that for a couple of minutes. Alrighty, what are some side quests you might like to work towards this quarter? See, someone wants to free Palestine as a side quest this quarter. Very good. Someone wants to get quick kisses from Brazil, get a real estate license, read 15 books, apply to be a model. Reading 12 books, digital declutter, swimming once a week, exercising twice a week. Nice. Yeah, for me, it was doing Zone 2 cardio 3 times a week, sticking to the gym 3 times a week, building our YouTube production system at work, building our vision and plan and mission for our software studio, making a start on book number 2, stretching and mobility routine every morning and every evening, that kind of thing. Okay. Well done, everyone. So, a couple of things that are left to say before we go into our session with Cal Newport. Thing number 1 is congratulations. This is supposed to be celebratory fireworks. You have done lots and lots and lots of reflecting and vision setting and goal setting and planning and direction setting and stuff over the last 2 days. I want to give a big thank you to you for being engaged throughout the time, and I hope you got value from the workshop. As a reminder, this is a slide for homework that, like, again, these, it's probably, it is worth spending maybe an extra hour or 2, maybe even longer, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, before January really kicks off, when life's going to get super, super busy, to really just think about, like, where your work and your life are heading, and in particular, what specific quarterly quest or main quarterly quest do you want to be working towards in work and in life? Because if that quest changes as a result of your introspection or your reflection or your thinking, then that's a very good thing. Because it would be a real tragedy if you got to our next workshop on the 31st of March or whenever we do the next workshop. We haven't quite fixed a date about it. By the way, if you would like to know when we do the next free workshop, sign up to my newsletter. We'll put a link in the chat. But if you're on my newsletter, you will know when our next quarterly alignment workshop is. But anyway, it would be a shame if you got to the next quarterly alignment workshop and you were like, man, I achieved that particular goal, but I realized that was the wrong goal to be working towards. There is nothing as unproductive as going very fast in completely the wrong direction. And so it's worth spending a little bit of time just thinking about it, maybe a little bit more, because if your destination changes, like I said, it really changes the nature of the journey that you're on. This is a airplane to remind us of this exact metaphor that if the destination changes, the journey really, really, really does change. And so it's worth spending a little bit of time thinking about that. A couple of other things. So the session with Cal Newport is going to be kicking off in about 20 minutes. And we're going to be using the Q&A thing quite a lot to guide the conversation, because actually there's some pretty good questions here. So please have a look at the Q&A panel on Menti, and that will show you all of the different questions that are being asked, and you can go through and upvote questions. Currently we have, how do you stay committed to tasks on the calendar? How to be more disciplined? How to be more motivated in the whole quarter? How to stop self-doubt? Someone is looking for, how do you build a scheduling system to stay productive while having a 9-to-5 job, family with kids, maintaining a house, and having a side hustle? So Cal has all of those things, and so we can ask him about that. Let's get rid of some of these questions that are irrelevant. But yeah, so we'll do a bit of a Q&A, kind of answering various people's questions with Cal in approximately 20 minutes. A couple of more things to say. So this is the final official session from me, except for the VIP people who I'm doing the workshop with after Cal Newport. If you have enjoyed this free workshop that we've been doing for the last 2 days with me and Izzy and Sahil and TJ and soon Cal, there is a testimonial link that we're going to put in the chat. We would love it if you could just write us or record us a testimonial about this free event that you have joined. Why do we want the testimonials? Well, firstly, it makes us feel good, because when we see the comments coming in, we're like, it's worth me and the team pulling in all-nighters over a weekend straight after the holidays in the new year to run a workshop like this. We want to do this sort of thing every year. We also will continue to do quarterly workshops every quarter. They will always be free. Sometimes there might be an upsell to a course or like a VIP thing or like an app. But like for the vast majority, like 99% of you don't pay for this sort of stuff and have never been a paying customer of any of our stuff. And that is okay. That is exactly how this sort of business works. I think of it as the 99-1-1 rule. 99% of all of our stuff is free to 99% of the audience, but 1% of our stuff is paid for like approximately 1% of the audience that feels like buying it. So whether you're in the 99% or in the 1% in terms of your willingness to and ability to pay for stuff or not, it doesn't really matter. The point is we want to be doing these sorts of events anyway because it's vibey and because I've benefited personally a lot, as has everyone I know and everyone on our team, from free events like this. So we want to keep them free. But if you leave us a testimonial, it means we can, next time the event comes around, we can show the testimonials to be like, hey, all of these people got a lot of value from this free event, so you should join the free event too, because it's free, you might as well. So anyway, yeah, it would be really helpful if you can leave us a nice little testimonial. That will be also very motivating for me and for Izzy and for Sahil and for TJ and for the team, who put in an enormous amount of work into making this sort of thing happen. Various other things, well, the main upsell that I have, it's not particularly an upsell, but like the main thing I would like to plug is our upcoming LifeOS live cohort course that I've been plugging for a while. The text is not loading, but that's okay. There is a QR code. Essentially, as I mentioned before, me and the team are going to be running a 3-week live cohort. The first session is 2 weeks from now, on Saturday, the 18th of January, so 12 days from now. The course kicks off on Saturday, the 13th of January. The first session with me is on Saturday, the 18th. We've got 3 sessions across 3 Saturdays, and the goal is to help you build your own LifeOS, your life operating system, based on vision and action. And in each of these sessions, we'll be covering one component from vision and one component from action. And I'm going to be giving you homework, and you'll be part of our little community, going through the live cohort with other people from all around the world. And of course, there is the Help Ali Sleep at Night money back guarantee. And if you go through the course and you don't like it, literally just email us and we'll give you your money back. So this is the main thing that we would like to plug for now. Other things to plug is if you haven't yet bought my book, you might consider buying the book if you like. I think it will help you be more productive in a way that actually feels good, and you can apply the stuff from it to be more productive in a way that actually feels good. So, there we go. The text is loaded. So that is all well and good. And is there anything else? Yes, a couple more things. Man, why is this going so slow? Let me just disable the Q&A thing again. That helped last time. Come on. Come on. While I'm trying to get this thing to work, I can just continue doing some plugs. You download VoicePal if you want. Oh, it's working now. Come on. Please work. I need to disable this question thing. Oh, it's just not going to load, is it? All right, let's hit refresh across all fronts. There we go. Yes, January 13th is a Monday. That's when the course kicks off, when we sort of let people into the course platform, and we'll give you like the onboarding materials and stuff. January 18th is the first session. So, I mean, there's not a lot to do between January 13th and January 18th. We're just going to use that time to get you acquainted with the platform and give you some introductory materials and all of that fun stuff. So, really, the official first session of the course is on January the 18th. What actions are you taking as a result of the workshop so far? Reflection, dopamine fasting, taking action, phone detox, no phone in the morning, very good, waking up early, vision boarding, fantastic. Lovely. Okay, fantastic stuff. Thank you guys. We are now going to take a break before the workshop with Cal Newport, which is starting in approximately 15 minutes. So I'm going to put this pluggy screen on screen. Please do keep the questions coming in, because those are the questions that we're going to be using, that we're going to be going through with Cal. So the Q&A feature should be live again. I'll put some music on, and we can take a little break. And I will see you guys in approximately 15 minutes for the final session with Cal Newport.